Okay, welcome to Mosport and iRacing. Skip Barber. We're coming up to turn one. Just going to zoom under the Michelin sign. Okay, we're flat out here. We've just come out of the last corner. Just come over the line. This first section there's a little bit of lift on the throttle. Let's just play through it here. Onto that apex. I don't take that perfectly, as you can hear. Let's just rewind. Let's get back to where we were. There you go. Still working on this corner. Still don't quite have it down reliably. I'm getting to about here. You can see where the power lines. If I just go past, just the telegraph pole on the left disappears, and as that happens, and you start to turn in, kind of coming off the throttle a bit, kind of favoring the throttle. You're looking at this the curbing on the inside here. I'm probably at the wrong angle. I want to be a little bit more pointed to the inside here. I think I'm taking this first half of the corner a little bit too fast, which is a common problem I have. And to slow it down a little bit. So if just imagine the nose is pointing a little bit more to the right, then hard on the gas about here, and then use a bit of curb on exit. But again, I'm lifting a little bit to avoid going off onto the grass, onto that dirt there. Okay, coming up to turn 2, the infamous turn 2. If you look just a little bit further down the track, you see the kind of aqua green roof of the Marshall tower. I'm waiting until I see the base of that tower before I turn in. So I get to about here. It's important not to turn in too early. So if you start turning in about there, you're going to get a little bit cramped up on the inside, and the problem then is you're a little bit wide on the second apex. There are two apexes here. The first one you're just coming up to, which we're going to turn into, and then the second one at the bottom of the hill. You want to be tight on both those apexes. So you're just coming up to about here, turn in. Let's just go through it in slow motion first. Turn in. Just should be tighter on that apex there, I think, just a fraction tighter. And again, coming around here, and again tight on this apex here to exit. And you can exit far to the right, over onto the right, or you can stick more on the inside. I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference, to be honest. Let's get back to the top of the hill so we can see how that looks in real time. So here we go. Turning in, a little bit of throttle all the way, and you can be brave on that down a little bit braver than you think you can maybe be. On exit, you're pushing left right onto the far left of this track here. So I'm not too bad there. Now I'm looking at that wall there. If you can see that dark grey line of wall just about to disappear on the right, see, it's just disappeared. As that happens there, I'm braking and down into third gear and turning in. The thing about this corner, again, I'm still kind of working on it a little bit. I don't think you want to be tight on the inside all the way around. I think you want to get tight. You want to be fairly tight all the way around, but you want to be absolutely tight when you're at the point of exit. So brake a little bit, not a huge amount. Down to third gear, turning in. This is about the approach I'm looking for. Now, as you see that writing on the wall there, see the writing on the wall there starting to appear. That's your signal to get full on the gas. But I kind of like that approach there. Maybe I need to be a little bit more, even now, a little bit more off that curbing. Let's go through it in real time. You want to just meet the end of that curb right at the end of it. Use the pavement on exit here, just flat out. I think if you look at the telegraph pole there on the right, when that meets the edge of my screen, and I've got something like I think it's a 62, something like that, field of view to get the mirrors in a little bit on the sides of the cars, on the sides of the car. But as that telegraph pole starts to disappear, then I'm turning, and you're turning in blind again. As we turn to, you're turning in blind. Getting up into 5th gear as you come around the corner. The important thing here is to make sure that you find a good marker so you can turn in and stay on the inside. So you look here, I'm getting the wheel turned in. You don't want to have to turn in too much so it scrubs off speed. And I'm trying to come on to the left hand side, trying to exit onto the left hand side of the track. As long as you're brave and turn in, you've got to be nice and aggressive here to make sure that you stay on the left hand side of the track. As long as you do that, you don't need to lift, just keep that throttle down. The only time you're lifting is to lift of changing a 5th. Okay, here's the really tough corner. Now, I haven't got this all the way down yet. My time here is a 1:32.1. Now, to put that into context with a top lap, which is about a 1:31.5, I lose 4.5 tenths down the back straight exiting Moss Corner. So if you could think, if I get this perfectly right, I would get a 1:31.7. So that just puts the importance of this corner into perspective. 1:32.1 is a fast time for the week. Anything near a 1:31.5 is a really fast time. So that tells you how important this corner is. Now, as you're coming down here, you want to be as far left as you can. As you see, we're going downhill into this valley. As you're then climbing up a little bit of an incline. That helps with braking. Brake at the bottom of this slope. In fact, if you can see those skids there, those dark lines there, just reaching the wheel. That's also a good indicator. But I like to now just to brake just as I go past that, about there. Then I'm braking down into very quickly 4th, then 3rd, getting tight on this apex. I need to wash out a little bit further to the left here. You see, I'm nowhere near the left-hand curb. It's tricky, this section. What I have been doing is actually, if you see that seam that's running right through the middle of the screen, right almost down the middle of the track, that kind of discoloured patch of track, like where it's been kind of patched over, that's a good marker to use. I probably need to be a little bit further to the left. I've seen guys that really top fast guys are being tighter on this apex, but I just can't make it work and wash out left. On entry I'm quicker, but I can't wash out left here, so I'm thinking I have to use that thick seam there as more of a guide. Maybe have that running right down the middle of the cockpit. So I'm maybe a couple of feet, a foot or two further left. I'm not sure. But the idea is, as you come through here, straighten the wheel, brake. I think it's actually a little bit of brake here. It happens so quickly. A little bit of brake. You've got to get your wheels straight. A little bit of brake. I'll take it down. Usually, I'm undecided between 1st and 2nd gear here. I should probably always use 1st. And then it's turning the wheel hard. As you can see here, turning the wheel hard onto this apex, back firmly on the gas. Use this little area of runoff and keep it tight left. As I say, this is probably, if you get this track, if you really get really fast here, this is probably going to be the corner that is the last one that you figure out. Okay, I'll just go through this in real time. So you just need to wash out a little bit, brake, tight on that, and accelerate. You've got to be careful that you don't accelerate before you've unwound the steering wheel there, or you will spin. Just keeping it tight on the right here. A lot of people I've seen just drive right up the left, which I think it's a slower line. In order to steer left, you have to scrub off a little bit of speed to keep it to get it over to the left. Okay, let's just leave it at that. Okay, these last two telegraph poles on the right, on the left, are my markers. The second one from the end is my marker for turning. I've seen pretty much everybody else brake then turn in, and I think before they reach the first set of curbing, they're on a fourth gear. There's two sets of curbing here. You've got to bear in mind. The way I'm driving it now is I'm turning in on that second from the second telegraph pole from the end, getting it tight in the first bit of curbing. Between the two curbings, I'm going down to fourth gear, getting tight on the second set of curbing, keeping it to the right. I'll show you in slow, so I actually should be a bit further to the left. I'm turning in actually a little bit short of that telegraph pole. I've kind of gradually moved it forward from between halfway between the third and the second. Okay, just trying to. You don't need to be tight on this first one. Actually, you can be a little bit off it, but you have to hit the second one. So about here, I'm dropping it down to fourth gear. You can see dropping it down a gear rotates the car. You can see there how it rotates. Getting onto this curbing, making sure that I'm going to be as far right as I can be. Okay, I'll get onto the next corner after we've seen this through in real time. Okay, as you can see, I'm just a little bit off it. Down in the fourth, rotate. Okay, this next corner, down in the third gear. You've got that bit of dirt on the right. That's pretty much a good indicator to turn in. Make sure you don't leave it too late, or else you're scrubbing speed off coming around the corner. Get it tight on the curbing on the inside. Very simple. The danger here is that you're turning in too late and scrubbing off your speed coming around the corner. Okay, here we are. I'm trying to use a little bit of this runoff on the left here. Again, the danger is you're going to turn in too late. I've been trying to use this writing on the left as a turning mark, so I hit that. As you can see, as that starts to disappear from my view on the left, that's my signal to turn in. A lot of steering input, hard on the gas as quick as you can, and using that runoff. Got to be a little brave coming around here. See that in real time. And that is a lap of Mosport.